Hola, bienvenidos y buenas noches a las todos. Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to Los Lobos de la Lucha, your weekly CMLL show here at BC Wrestle Pod. My name is Mikey, and as always, I am El Jefe, and I run the ones and twos. And joining me this lovely Wednesday evening, of course, is the one and only Papa Oso, who is here to once again to talk about some lucha libre goodness with me. Um, yeah, it's been an interesting week. I am currently in a new location. More on that information a little bit later, but yeah, and we are here specifically to talk about the Friday, June 12th edition of CMLL, specifically the Viernes Espectacular. So yeah, I'm ready. This is gonna be fun, and yeah. So before we get started, though, really quickly for our intro, as everyone knows, you can find us pretty much almost every day of the week. I mean, if you hit those notifications, we go live everywhere, and you can watch us live on your favorite streaming platform, or you can watch our edited video that goes up the next day on our main YouTube channel. We got social medias at BC WrestlePod, where you can find the report cards and clips and other fun stuff. And we also have a merch store, bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. And last but certainly not least, we have a coffee bot. It's going to help us pay for these pay per views over the summer. So it's it's the calm before the storm because so far summer isn't jam packed yet like it was last year. But I am waiting because as soon as I say that, then tomorrow I'm gonna wake up to the announcements. There's like 18 more pay-per-views in the summer. I'm like, no, but I'm excited. We gonna talk about everything. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it. So last week I had mentioned when we were covering the second show from our doubleheader last week, I was talking about how last week's show felt like it was everything was off the wall crazy. Like I felt like we were in the land of delusion. It is crazy. Um I will say that it wasn't as crazy this week, but also be honest, when we get to you, I swear we just up the ante, and I'm gonna break it down further when we get to your championship match for the Ring of Honor tag team title. So it's just like, what is happening in Mexico right now? Everyone is just doing insane things, and I'm here for the entrances, but I was like, what is going on? I will also say this show was a little interesting too, because a good chunk of these matches were for one fall. So I was just like, because I'm used to us having um 2 out of 3 falls a good chunk of the time, but a lot of the matches were one falls, and we'll get into it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and let's just get into it, right? So, we kick things off of this particular episode of CMLL Viernes Espectacular, and this is a relevo sencillo match a una caída. Of course, this is our opening match. This is Hijo del Pantera and Pantera Jr. taking on Raider and Vegas Depredador. Um, I have to say, the juxtaposition of the ring gear between the Panteras and then Raider and Vegas Depredador are so vastly on the opposite side of the spectrum of fashion. Of course, the Panteras, they are channeling their inner, like, uh, animalistic panther and cat aesthetic. And then out here, Raider and Vegas Depredador look like they just walked out of a 50 Cent music video, especially Raider with like the bulletproof vest that he's wearing as well. It's insane for sure. But as far as the match goes, I thought this was really fun. I kept laughing every time that Vegas ended up doing something, and so did Raider. I was like, there was a lot of showboating here, and it was kind of great. I'm not gonna lie. It was really, really fun to watch.
Mhm.
Um, so but yeah, this again, openers, they usually set the tone for us, and it was a really, really fun one for sure. Papa Oso, what did you think of this opening bout?
I loved it. I thought it was fun. Vegas is new to me, so that's always exciting. So I love seeing new people that at least new to me people. And so that was cool, and love the entrances. I thought after this match, I wasn't this match did not set me up for what we got. Which is not a bad thing. I just was like, oh, okay, here we go. It's gonna be another, chill, fun, cool Mexico Lucha Libre evening. And it felt, and again, not a bad thing necessarily, it felt very Americanized, which threw me off a little bit. It pulled me out of my normal. I'm so excited to see this. Again, I enjoyed the whole evening, but it was just very much like, why are we Americanizing things?
No, I feel that I felt like this particular night there was a lot of like westernization, specifically American westernization
Mhm.
in our matches. Again, because like I said, we had a lot of matches that only went for one falls, and they crammed in a lot of stuff because we had some visitors from AEW, but we also had some visitors from New Japan as well.
Mhm.
And again, that's setting up everything that is going to be happening this Friday, specifically for Fantastica Mania with Mexico and Japan sending over folks. But we'll get
Right.
into that when we do the preview. I will say that this match and the next match felt the most
Mhm.
CMLLs because it was our crop of people that we usually see. And then from the third match on is where we like felt
Yeah.
like an SNL skit, be like, and guest starring.
Yeah. Well, after these first two, and I agree with you. I mean, it felt like they were trying to cram a whole lot into this night, So I didn't enjoy it as much as I normally enjoy CMLL. Did not enjoy it. It was less than I normally would be like, woo! And I was like, oh, okay. After the third match happened, I was like, okay, that's cool, whatever. And then when it started to it was the same, it was like cookie cutter from that point on. To me, that's when I was like, oh, I see. We Americanized it because we've got other people, or westernized it because we have other people here, as opposed to bring those bitches in and make them fight your way. I would much rather see New Japan or AEW or whoever the hell's coming in step into a lucha libre ring and fight like a luchador.
Yeah, and I have to say, I feel that New Japan stars, they do a better job of adapting to the style. But again, CMLL and New Japan have that partnership where each promotion will send their stars over to, whether it's the Japanese stars learning some of like the lucha libre, like Yave style of wrestling, and then CMLL stars either going to New Japan or to Stardom to learn the Japanese strong style of wrestling. And I feel like I will say, I feel that some AEW stars that we saw tonight, they get the memo. Like it's especially when we get to the Amazonas, I feel like specifically Thunder Rosa gets it. But that's because she has that experience wrestling in Mexico prior to joining AEW. But then I look at other people like Beast Mortos. So when we get to the tag team title match, he understands it. Sammy Guevara does not, and he's still learning about it, which again we'll get into, which threw me off because I was like, I can't believe I'm rooting for the Villanos here. I know they're not gonna win, but I'm rooting for that.
Yeah.
But we'll discuss that more. But from here, here we had Raider and Vegas Depredador pick up the victory over the Panteras. And this moves us into our second match of the evening, which is a Relevo Australiano de Técnicos. So whereas last week we had a trios match with the Rudos versus Rudos, this is Técnicos versus Técnicos. So of course, this is the team of a returning from Japan, Valiente Jr., who was participating in the New Japan Best of the Super Juniors 2 weeks ago, which is like the cruiserweight tournament that New Japan puts on every single year. And he was teaming with his stablemates of Max Star and Futuro, so los hermanos del espacio, so the spaceman essentially. And then on the other side, you have the other technical team of Stigma, Arcalis, and Rayo Metalico. And again, like I said before, this felt like a very CMML match. I was like, this is a fun trios match.
Mhm.
Um, and funny enough, this was one of the only matches that was 2 out of 3 falls, like the traditional
Yep.
style of CMLL matches we got. And this was
I
really the
know.
only one we got. So I was like, yes, there it is.
Yeah,
CMLL
and
bringing me back.
this is why I thought, "Oh, okay, it's gonna be a normal night," you know? Okay, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what the AEW New Japan folks do in this. Oh, this is gonna be so fun. I can't wait to see you know, a 2 out of 3 fall, whatever. I can't wait to see New Japan do that, or I can't wait to see AEW folks do that. And then we didn't get that. And it really kind of bummed me out.
And it was like, if it's like, if only future you knew.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. I want to preface by saying this, right? In no ways was this show absolutely bad because I have seen
No.
lots worse in other places, but it did felt very thrown off from like the standard of what we were seeing and not like in a way that was like super fun. Some parts of it were fun.
Mhm.
And like I said, some people got the memo, other people's did not. It was a very up and down night in terms of, you know, like I guess, like, the magic that CMLL brings, I don't know, this is
Yeah.
the most westernized I have felt so far in this year so far for CMLL.
Can I say it felt less like culture and tradition and more like commercialization.
It felt like I think the best way to describe it is I felt, and this is no shade because we cover a lot of stuff, but it felt like I was watching one of the weekly, like, for example, we can use this because you were part of those teams. It felt like I was watching a regular weekly episode of like a TNA or an NXT, where it's like, yeah, this was fun, but it felt like more of a TV production than me taking peeking behind the curtain and watching like Arena Mexico go off like we know they do.
Right. I agree.
But other than that, going back to this particular match, again, this is the most like standard CMLL that we got this whole entire night, which was a lot of fun. And I think because both teams were Technicos too, we got to see more high flying than we usually do because again, our Technicos in CMLL tend to be the more high flyers, and then the Rudos tend to be more power and to the mat based kind of stuff. And so to watch everyone kind of do flying things was really fun, and I really enjoyed it. Um, and yeah, I was like, you know what? All right, let's see how the rest of the show goes. Like, I know we got a lot to go into, but as someone who watches all these promotions, we're going to see how the rest of the night goes. But yeah, this was the most CMLL type of match that we got. And of course, it would be, and I said their faction name wrong before as I have my notes up. So, Los Viajeros del Espacio, so that's Valiente Jr., Maxstar, and Futuro, would pick up the victory over La Fuerza Poblana, so that is Stigma, Arcalis, and Rayo Metalico. And again, this was a fun match. This is the most CMLL match that we got this week.
Mhm.
And with that being said, let's get into what started we got special guest stars. This is the rest of the show because we got different people from different places. Some people did their job correctly. Some of them just need a little more seasoning in terms of fitting in here. So we're going to start with this one, which was the Amazonas action. And I was just like, yes. I was like, these girls got the memo. Thunder, you got the memo. So, in the
Yeah.
relevo australiano de Amazonas, so a una caída, of course, you had the Técnicos, so AEW's Thunder Rosa, and reminding folks that she also has a dual contract now with CMLL. And so she is getting paid by both companies to be here and also being that bridge between the companies. So that's cool. And she was teaming up with Lluvia and La Jarochita. And of course, they were taking on Las Rudas of this particular match. And my gosh, what a setup. Of course, you have the brick house of Miss Olympia. You have Keira. And of course, making it back to Arena Mexico, who we have missed dearly because listen, I watch AEW, so I've got to see her more, but it's just back. It's nice to have her back in Arena Mexico. Our CMLL Women's Champion, Miss Persephone. I miss.
Woo-woo.
I love that she's making the veil like in her entrance, like part of her character gimmick now. It's just like where it's half white, half black. I was just like, and the roses also match too. I'm
Mhm.
just like, oh, Persephone, I love you. Um, the Rudas like came in swinging hard, and boy,
I mean, look at
they
them. Look at this team up. I was like, when they were coming in and they were as the Rudas were coming in, I was just like, no one's going to stand a chance. I mean, Olympia, Kira, and Persephone. I mean, that's like a triple threat. I mean, that's like holy goodness. I mean, because Persephone is all power. I mean, she's all like, and then Kira and Olympia are like, I mean, they are like the heavyweights. I mean, they're like shit brick houses, man, or brick shit houses rather. I mean, they are just huge. And I was just like, and I in my brain, all I could see was like Olympia and Kira with Persephone kind of in the middle, and I'm creating this like V for victory, just like we're coming in to literally destroy you. I mean, honestly, I was just like, holy cheese.
Yeah, when I saw this on the card, I was just like, I love you, Thunder, and I love you, Yuvia and La Jarochita. But I'm like, girls, you don't stand a chance.
My God.
I mean, they definitely gave it the college try. But again, when you have Olympia and Kita, who are very power based in their wrestling, especially Olympia, I mean, homegirl, you can grate cheese on those abs. Like, my goodness.
Yeah.
But then, of course, like when you watch Persephone hit her finisher, like the razor's edge into like a sit down power bomb, I'm just like, oh, Thunder's back is gonna be hurting for a little bit. Like,
oh yeah.
I was like, yo, I was like, that was insane. And because of Persephone, she ends up pinning to pick up the win here for her team. So Las Rudas are your victors here in this match. And I'm like, Persephone, I have missed you in Mexico.
Yep, so, me too.
It's been really fun, though. I mean, she's getting lots of opportunities here in the States, but it's also nice to see her return and, do some cool stuff in Mexico. So that's a lot of fun. Again, Thunder, we got the memo, girl. Good job. You need to talk to your other AEW folks here, especially Mr. Sammy Guevara, because we're going to get on him in a little bit. But we going to keep this moving, though. So then we get this match, and I was just like, yay! I was just like, this was fun. This is Match Relámpago, which has been touted and kind of teasing what we're getting this Friday at Fantastica Mania. So this has been touted. This match was touted as Mexico versus Japón. So Mexico versus Japan in a Match Relámpago. And this is Titan representing Mexico and our favorite Utani representing Japan. First of all, I want to talk about Utani. We upgraded this outfit, and this coat, and this mask was everything. I was like, yes, sir, get it. And also, Titan, I love you too. This was a fun, fast-paced match. I think, these two have gained so much fun chemistry together every time we see them, whether they're in tags or in trios matches. And then watching them go one-on-one here, I was like, yes, I forgot how much I love your chemistry together, you two. Please give me like 18 more matches. I will watch every single one of them.
Absolutely. Oh my God. This was, I was, when you announced this last week, I like salivated a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Because I love these two when they go against each other. I was so excited because, Utante, he's new to me. I mean, I'm new. I say newer. He's newer to me. I haven't known him that long. But, man, let me tell you, I fell in love with him as a wrestler. I just think he's so freaking good. He's so good. And of course, Titan, I've always been a big fan of. But these two, when they meet in a ring, it's epic. It is epic. It's like I knew we were going to get something amazing. I knew this wasn't going to be a disappointment, and it wasn't. At least not to me, anyway.
No, and it's a fact that since the beginning of this year and seeing how much CMLL has featured Utani this year too, again, not to go back to other things, but there is a reason, and it's really fun to see him being able to be featured more, especially since, when we did our end of the year, when we talked about our wrestlers to watch in 2026 for them to have really good moments and stuff like that, you picked Uthani as we were starting to get to know him. And the more we got to see of him, we started to like what he was doing. And now I was just like, yeah, he's a central figure, and I love anytime he pops up on the Friday shows. It's so much fun. And then, of course, I'm a big fan of Titan for the longest time, but that's also because I've been following him in New Japan as well. So it's really fun to watch like the wrestlers who are able to cross and forth who are wrestling in both companies because it's really fun. But yeah, this was a fast-paced match. There was lots of false finishes. This was so much fun. Titan does pick up the victory over Utani, but again, this was a little preview because we're going to see these two as well as some other folks this Friday specifically, with CMLL and New Japan going at it. And we're going to talk about that at the end of the show. So I was so excited because I was like, this match made me was like, okay, it's been a weird night, but you know what? We're getting into the groove of things. And I was like, okay, I'm here for it. And then I came crashing down. And that sounds really bad, but let me tell you why. So I got to set this up though. So this is for the Campeonato Mundial de Parejas ROH. So this is for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. This is LFI, which is uh, La Facción Ingornables. And this, of course, is the champions of Beast Muertos and Sammy Guevara, both who are in AEW and Ring of Honor, because Ring of Honor is part of the AEW umbrella of companies that are underneath the Tony Khan umbrella. So that's a lot of fun. And then they were taking on the challengers of Villano Tres Jr. and Hijo de Villano Tres. Now, before we get into this match, though, last week, the Villanos came out with shiny hats. One of them came out with a guitar. I was just like, it cannot get any weirder than that. And boy, did they hear that from me. And the Villanos decided to be like, oh no, we're gonna make it even weirder. Cause then when these two came out in their entrance gear, I'm just sitting here and I'm looking at both Villano Tres Jr. and Hijo del Villano Tres. And I'm sitting here and I'm just like, what is this? Like, did we just walk off the yellow submarine? Like, we're looking like Sergeant Pepper out here. Like, what is happening, you guys? Like, who let them listen to the Beatles? That is what it was giving me. I was just like, who raided the Beatles closet?
Yeah. This is kind of when it started going a little downhill for me.
It got off the rails during this match, honestly.
It did. I was just like, okay. I mean, I didn't not enjoy this match, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from too. And I think let's see if we can, because I think we have different reasons as to why we weren't vibing with this match. I think for me personally, and I'm not saying that every championship match needs to be like this, because I know that sometimes the championship comes secondary to whatever feud or story we're telling. And sometimes the feuds don't need to be about the titles. My thing is that when championships are on the line, even if it's just like a one and done type of match, like for this one, I don't want the titles to change hands. Like I don't want them to completely shock it. But even though I knew that the Villanos weren't going to win, you have to make if there's a championship match, you have to make me believe during the match that there is even like a 5% chance that the title might change hands. And that possibility is what makes me super excited with championship matches. Nowhere in this match, technically wise, it was good, and I thought it was some solid work. But nowhere in this match did I ever feel that the Villanos actually had a shot at winning these titles. They weren't squashed, but there was nothing during this match that made me believe that, like, oh man, maybe they will give the titles to the Villanos for a little bit. I was just like, there is nothing in the story of this match that told me that the Villanos had a shot. They gave it their best try, but I was like, there is no way. And this match did not make me believe that they were going to win in any capacity. And to me, that's the worst thing that, for me personally, as a wrestling fan, that's what bothers me the most. I'm not expecting, the underdogs to always win, but there was nothing in this match that made me doubt myself. I was like, no, they're gonna win. Like Sammy and Mortos are gonna win. And then the match itself was good, but I was like, nowhere in this match did it tell me that they were gonna lose these titles.
Yeah, I think we're kind of the same because I felt that there were no stakes. The stakes weren't high. It was like, oh, it felt like a technical match. It's like, just go through the techniques, show us the mechanics. That's all we need to see. And it was like, okay, which we saw. Like you said, the technical aspects of it were pretty solid. But never once did I feel that the stakes were high enough. I mean, like, the Beast and Sammy over there, they were just doing things because they knew they weren't going to lose. I mean, it was like, and you could tell, they were a little
like
on the.
it felt like they were moving in cruise control. I think if that makes any sense.
Yeah, because they knew they weren't going to lose. So it was like they weren't trying. That was that's what I felt. I felt the Villano, I felt they were trying, but I felt that Beast and Sammy, they weren't. They were just an autopilot. And that bugged the crap out of me. Because then I was like, is this what it's going to be for the rest of the night?
And this definitely was the downer in the sense because I was like, we have one more match to go. And I was like, you know what? It was kind of up and down for a little bit, but I was vibing with most of the show. And this really kind of threw me out of it just a little bit. I was like, oh, well, that's kind of a bummer. So I'm just like, dang it. Well, to nobody's shock and chagrin, Mortos and Sammy do retain the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. And as somebody who also covers the Ring of Honor pay-per-views, I'm just like, we've been saying this for a long time. I love Mortos and I love Sammy, but those titles need to be taken off of them like now. They've had it for way too long, and I know that visa issues have kind of thrown a lot of the wrench into plans over at Ring of Honor, but these titles are being held hostage, and they need to be put on a team that's going to be on Ring of Honor weekly. Sammy is wrestling weekly on Ring of Honor and AEW sometimes, but because of visa issues and the world being ill about it, Mortos is stuck in Mexico. Same thing with Commander and being stuck in, and Hechicero being stuck in Mexico because of visa issues. So I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, this was kind of a bummer. I was like, I wasn't expecting the Villanos to win, but also like you said, there were no stakes. The match didn't make me believe that there was a chance that they were going to win. So I was like, this is a bummer. And it really took me a little bit out because then I had to try to figure out a way to get it back just in time for our main event, which was, again, this is setting up everything that is happening this Friday. This is our main event for this particular episode of Viernes Espectacular in a trios match that is setting up the Mexico retirement match coming up this Friday. We have New Japan legend himself, Mr. Tiger Mask, teaming up with AEW's Commander and, of course, 1/3 of Sky Team here in CMLL Neon. And they were taking on the Rudo team of Black Tiger, Ultimo Guerrero, and Barbaro Cavernario. Barbo has been really going back and forth these last couple of episodes. It's been really cool. It's been fun. He's like, he's gonna be a technical one week. Now he's gonna be a rudo. It's been interesting. I will say the best part is Ultimo Guerrero when he got into the fan off. Everyone, when he did the arms up, Neon was like, yeah. When Ultimo Guerrero did it to the crowd, boo.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is great. And listen, I know Tiger Mask is old. He's getting up there. Like, he's going to retire very soon. So I'm like, he's retiring in July in New Japan. He's been doing this forever. So I'm not expecting him to go ham and cheese, if you will. I will say I did find enjoyment in this match because, again, Black Tiger, who is, the moniker has been taken on by Magnus of CMLL. He got the blessing to become Black Tiger. And I did enjoy this for what it was. I wasn't expecting it to be a barn burner. Again, Mystico was in Japan this weekend, wrestling at the New Japan show. And so he wasn't here. But I thought this was a fun enough match. The crowd was into it. This was the send the crowd home happy match. I was just like, yeah, I'll take it. It wasn't as bad. I was still a little bummed from the previous match because it really took me a couple of minutes to get over it. I was like, I'm depressed. I was like, but I need to. How are we going? Okay. I was like, all right.
Can I just say our Technico team felt weird?
This really felt like an amalgamation of be like, all right, who's left on this roster right now?
Yeah,
Whereas everyone else is around the world.
Yeah, it was like, hey, you, and you, y'all, come on. I mean, it kind of felt like it. You know, when they go out here in America, anyway, we know when like a big like television show or whatever's happening, and they have people outside along the sidewalk, and they'll go out and they'll go, you, and you, come on in. That's kind of what this felt like.
This is like, all right, I was like, all right, which of you is not going to AEW or New Japan or anywhere else this week? I also feel like this was a weird setup because technically the Mexico retirement match for not Black Tiger, for Tiger Mask is happening this Friday. So I felt like, okay, this is a setup, but this felt like a weird setup of this amalgamation of people. Don't get me wrong. I love everyone on the technical team, but this definitely felt like this is like your teacher randomly assigned you partnered for a group project, and this is the group that you got stuck with.
Yes. Oh my God. They're the ones that nobody picked.
They literally pulled the lottery, and somehow like the loners ended up all together in one group. So this is going to be an interesting project. But then to be fair, like on the Rudo side too kind of makes more sense. But even then, it felt like a random amalgamation of people. Like Black Tiger obviously is here because, you know, Tiger Mask and Black Tiger have a history. At least the characters do. Ultimo Guerrero, I was like, makes sense. Bestie, love him. I'm not gonna lie, Barbaro, I love you, but you felt like the odd man out in this pairing. I was like, was Volador Jr. not available? Like, where's Hechicero?
Hechicero would have been a great one, yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I mean, this is also like a weird team.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what kind of kept this match from going into like the great category. This is a good match, but because the team makeup and the chemistry was a little weird, I was like, okay.
Okay, that's okay. All right, now
I didn't hate this match, but
I didn't hate it either. But it was weird. It was weird. Yeah, Barbara Cavernario. I was just like, why are you here? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love me some Barbara Cavernario, but I was just like, why are you here? You shouldn't be here. This one of these things is not like the others.
We pulled a whole Sesame Street. Be like, one of these things is not like the other.
I mean, seriously, and I agree with you. Like, where was Hechicero would have been great. You know,
I was like, I guess he wasn't available this week but he's available in this Friday. So,
but anyway,
wrap this up. Yeah, Tiger Mask, Commander, Neon win. But let's get into this because this was a weird episode. But hopefully, this was just a fluke week. This was a weird week, given everybody else was flying all over the place. But we have been talking about it since May, but it is finally here. This Friday is the 2026 edition of CMLL and New Japan Pro Wrestling's Fantastica Mania, which I am excited because, again, as somebody who watches both companies, I love it when we get this show every summer since we started covering CMLL, and this is going to be a good one. So this is actually a pretty busy card in the sense that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 7 matches on this card. And so this is going to be interesting. Oh, also, sorry. I will save the news for a little bit too, as I'm like pulling up my notes for this. But this Friday is the 2026 edition of Fantastica Mania Mexico, in which New Japan and CMLL go at it. So let's go through these matches first to begin with. So kicking things off this Friday in a Primera Lucha, Mexico versus Japón, you have Valiente Jr., Futuro, and Max Star taking on the team of Utani, Okamura, and Shoma Kato. So that's going to be fun. Then I wish we had more Amazonas matches, but I get it because the Stardom girls are going to be busy the next 2 weeks. But in our second match of the evening, this is going to be the Campeonato Mundial Femenil de Japón CMLL. So this is for the women's CMLL Japan title as well. So this is the title that goes back and forth between Mexico and Japan. So we have our champion currently, India Sui, taking on Stardom's Rena. So I'm excited to see Rena here in Stardom because I will just put it this way. Rena hits hard. Rena is a beast in Stardom, and she's had a really fun year. She came runner up in the Cinderella tournament, which is like the big spring tournament for the Stardom girls, which guarantees them a championship match at like their big show called All-Star Grand Queendom. So Rena's fantastic. She's part of the faction called Hate. So they dress in all black and they got black lipstick going on. Their look is amazing. The entrances is what I'm excited for because the Stardom girls always come out with the presentation. So that's going to be a fun championship match. Then in our third match, we have CMLL versus Unbound Company, which is one of the factions in New Japan. So representing CMLL, we're going to love this lineup. We got Máscara Dorada, Templario, and Neon. And they will be taking on the team of Titan, Robbie X, and the Bone Soldier, Taiji Ishimori. So that's going to be a fun one. Then in Evento Especial Mano a Mano, you have CMLL star Barbaro Cavenario taking on New Japan star El Fantasmo. So that's going to be a fun one too. Then for Campeonato Mundial de Pareja CMLL, the CMLL tag titles will be on the line as our champions. Angel de Oro and Niebla Roja will be defending the titles against New Japan stars Sonata and Dick Togo. So that's going to be an interesting match. Yes, that is his name. I will say this, Sonata is going to be fun. If he comes out the way that he did at the New Japan show this weekend, dressed like he just walked out of the Lady Gaga Abracadabra music video, we're going to be here for it. Yeah, I'm so ready. I'm excited to give you all this lore next week. So that's going to be fun. Then in the Lucha semifinal and Relevo, so in our semi-main event, we have representing CMLL, we have Los Guerreros, so Ultimo Guerrero and Gran Guerrero, which I'm excited for. I'm like, I've missed you, my thicky boys. So they will be here, and then we'll be taking on Konosuke Takeshita and Hechicero. So again, dual contracts for New Japan. It's going to be fun. Also, I sense some setting things up for AEW's pay-per-view of Forbidden Door, which is incorporating CMLL, New Japan, and Stardom talent with AEW. So that's going to be fun. Then in our main event, this is the retirement match here in Mexico, at least for Tiger Mask. So this is the team that makes sense, by the way, for the Technicos on this one. You have Tiger Mask, Mystico, and Blue Panther. So that team makes more sense than what we got this past week. And they're taking on the team of Black Tiger, Averno, and Volador Jr. I'm like, these teams make more sense. So yeah, so this is going to be a really fun card. I always look forward to Fantastica Mania. And then a little bit of news really quickly. So as I was pulling up my notes, CMLL has just announced that. So I announced it earlier this week on our AEW show, but AEW is going back to having Grand Slam Mexico in August, and since they're doing Grand Slam Mexico, that means that the CMLL crew and the AEW crew will once again cross-pollinate, and we will be reviewing the show together as it is incorporating both AEW and CMLL stars. But what makes this more interesting, that show is on Wednesday, August 5th. They just announced that August 7th, which is 2 days afterwards, and we'll get ready for this because this is our favorite time of the summer too. The men's Grand Prix is back. Ooh. And it is happening Friday, August 7th. And I'm just like, yes, the men's Grand Prix is back.
Yes.
So for those of you who are not aware of the Grand Prix, specifically the summer one, this is the men's one. So this is 10 CMLL stars and 10 wrestlers from other companies around the world in a 10-on-10 elimination match. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to
So
see who.
good.
I'm excited to see who is going to be participating. And
Yes.
usually we have to wait until the end of August, but the fact that it's beginning of August, which is leading into, from the Grand Slam Mexico AEW show between AEW and CMLL, I'm just like, we're going to have a busy week and I'm here for it. So yeah, but no, August 7th is the Grand Prix. And I'm just like, I'm trying to remember. I don't think we did a watch along for the Grand Prix, but I'm excited to watch it though. But I got to get my notes ready because I'm like, I'm excited, but I got to keep track of who eliminates who. That's the only downside of the Grand Prix. I'm like, all right, so who comes in when, who gets eliminated by who, making sure like, I'm excited though. This is going to be fun. So that is everything that I have. So and that brings us to the end of Los Lobos de la Lucha. So I
Mhm.
know, sad. But me and Will will be back here next Wednesday, same time. And this will be the final show for June because then the following week, we will be going dark as I will be on vacation. So I'm like, I'll be gone for a week, which means that I apologize in advance. But when we come back in so next week we have a show, and then 2 weeks later we'll be back. And so when we come back after I come back from vacation, it's another double episode. So I'm like, well, it's gonna be fun. But I'm excited. This is gonna be fun. I'm happy to officially be on summer vacation. So
Mhm.
now I'm like, I don't have to go to work and pack my classroom and clean out everything. Now I can just, I don't know, be lazy, I guess. Anywho, but Will and I are going to get up on out of here. But thank you so much for tuning in from all of us here at BC Wrestle Pod to you at home. Remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. I'll see you. I'll see you Friday for our TNA post show. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.